Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Joe from Data Report, and you have clicked onto the channel that provides updates on all those viruses that can make us sick. Let's face it, there's a lot of viruses out there. COVID is a big one, and COVID is responsible for us constantly getting sick from a lot of these viruses. In fact, studies show if you have had COVID, your immune system can be weakened, and well, if you go on to get another virus after COVID, it could make you more sick, or the virus could be more severe than it would have been if you never did have COVID. But let's face it, you don't hear much about it in the news. You hear about the local news reports, you even get a weather report, and you get your daily update on sports. But what you do not get, and what you do need, is a daily update on what's going on with these viruses. COVID is a virus that rocked the world back in 2020. It made a lot of people sick. I myself was even sick with COVID in the early days of the pandemic before testing became a thing. How did I know it was COVID? Well, as time went on, we began to learn what the symptoms were of COVID. We heard a lot of what COVID can do, and it turned out a lot of my symptoms were the classic symptoms of COVID, but that was in the early days. As time went on, I did recover, but then a few months later, I started to have some new health issues that just were not going away. We begin to start to learn about long COVID. And it turned out, hey, I dealt with long COVID, but I was one of the people in the early days that was told, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. How many people can raise their hand and relate to that and say, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. It's not from COVID. You're perfectly fine. But meanwhile, you weren't feeling right. Maybe you were short of breath. Maybe your stomach was upsetting you. Maybe you were dealing with brain fog or a whole bunch of different symptoms. I dealt with a couple of those. There's over 200 different symptoms now that could be a part of long COVID. Yes, it is serious. But yet, in the news, what do you get? You get your local news. You get a brief 20-second health segment. You get about a 2 to 3 minute report on the weather. You get about a 2 to 3 minute report on what's going on with sports, and maybe some other community announcements and things. You do not get a detailed update of what's going on with these viruses. That's what I do here on my channel each and every day. Why? Because I'm fed up with the lack of communication that is going on with these viruses. And let's face it, it is getting harder to do this task. It is getting harder to present you the data each day. Why? Well, there's less data. The CDC just recently, HHS, FDA, and others have recently been told, stop the updates. Don't do any more updates. That's totally ridiculous. So what do? Well, I scrape up whatever data I can find, just about each and every day as needed, and I look for whatever news stories I can find. I compile them all into one video right here on my channel. It is now known as the Virus Update. In the early days, it was called the Pandemic Update when I started this channel back in 2022, because at the time I just talked about COVID, and I really just presented daily COVID numbers. Nowadays, the majority of states do not give a daily COVID number. I present to you whatever I can find and try to help and keep you safe, informed, and healthy. Now, back in 2022, I also started something else. Check this out. This is really cool. I started a forum website where I'm archiving stuff such as COVID news, COVID studies, celebrities who have tested positive for COVID, information on other viruses, all to keep you informed of what's going on. Maybe it is you are going to go to a doctor's appointment because you have had COVID or you've had another virus, and now you're dealing with a post-COVID issue, and you want to present your case of what's going on. Very easy. Go to my website, datareport.info. You can type that in your web browser, and you can just go down to the COVID studies and papers, where I have an archive of links and threads that will take you to various different studies put out by many well-respected health journals, universities, from not just the United States, but all around the world. Hey, COVID can impact the lungs, the heart, the brain, diabetes. Long COVID studies. COVID can impact the immune system. COVID having an impact on the immune system is one of the reasons why I had to change these daily videos to the virus update. Many people who have had COVID and get another virus end up being more sick, or can more easy catch a virus that, makes them sick. If they didn't have COVID, maybe they wouldn't have caught that virus. But now that they had COVID, if they come in contact with something else, they're easily picking it up, just like that. And some people are constantly posting on social media. I'm sure you've seen it. I know I see it. Where so-and-so is sick yet again. Why am I constantly sick? Here's a clue. Take a look at this. Study from December 20th of 2022. Immune systems seriously weakened by COVID. Study identifies immune signature to predict severe COVID. Long COVID seems to make distinct changes to the immune system. On and on I could go. The immune system does get impacted by COVID-19, and the more times you get impacted by COVID, the more chances you have of going on to develop long COVID, and the more your immune system gets damaged. But let's face it, COVID's not the only virus out there. Bird flu. We are learning new things about it each and every day, and we hope it never becomes a global pandemic where it's spreading human to human, but you know what? We need to keep an eye on this virus. We need to keep an eye on regular influenza A, influenza B, norovirus, measles, polio. Yeah, we thought we eradicated polio. Well, then along came some missed vaccinations and worked up immune systems that got damaged by COVID. Yeah, polio, it's popped up again. Measles, there were a lot of measles cases last year. Whooping cough. Whooping cough is becoming a growing issue all across the United States, and you just need to be informed of what's going on with these viruses. I try my best to do that each and every day. Do you want to be informed with what's going on with all these viruses? Do you want to be in the know with what's going on through wastewater? Oh, wastewater? What's that? I'm glad you asked. Well, in your local community, in many different places, not all places, they can actually go in and sample the sewage that comes from your business, your household, the grocery store, a lot of different places. They can actually take samples and find out just what is being shown up in the wastewater in your area in terms of viruses. COVID, RSV, norovirus, influenza A, influenza B, HMPV. Many different viruses can be detected in wastewater, and we can use that wastewater to detect what is going on in the local community. We can even check it on the national level. For example, at the time of recording this video, we can see that COVID levels across the United States are running high. RSV is running high. Influenza A is running high. Influenza B can be detected, HMPV, and several other viruses. But then we can actually go right down to an individual community. You want to know what's going on in Stamford, Connecticut? Well, guess what? We can check on that. Now, we can't check every community in the United States, but we can view various different wastewater sites all around the country. For granted, there used to be more. The CDC used to talk about this. The CDC used to update a data page. Now, we just lost that from the CDC, and that is really making things difficult. But we can see at this time in Stamford, Connecticut, as of January 29th, that's the day I'm recording this video, Stamford, Connecticut's dealing with medium COVID levels. RSV is high, influenza A is high, influenza B is high, HMPV is high, and take a look at this. They are dealing with high levels of norovirus. Chances are, if you're in Stamford, Connecticut, you could come in contact with someone who's sick. Well, you need to be informed with what's going on with all this around the country. You need to know the latest news stories, and I do that here on my channel each and every day. Do you want to stay informed? Well, just subscribe to my channel down below, and guess what? You can even become a member of my web. That's right, it is free to sign up to my website, datareport.info. You can make a post in any section of the site. We even have a section where we have COVID support. What's that? You can actually post in there if you have a question. Maybe you just don't have anywhere else to turn, and you just need guidance into the right direction of what's going on post-COVID, the case, or whatever the case may be. You can post in there, and I'm sure someone will probably respond to you with a response and guide you in the right direction. Well, now you know a little bit about me and my channel and my website. I hope to see you in my next virus update, because I promise I will try and keep you safe and informed of what's going on with these viruses and ahead of the game and where we may be headed and whatever new virus may pop up. I will continue to try and do the work that the news, media, government, and other agencies just are not doing. I'll alert you of those school outbreaks. I'll alert you of when a COVID wave is starting or cases of other viruses are rising. You will be in the know, because that is what I have made it be my job here on my channel. So subscribe down below if you want to stay informed. And hey, if you know anyone else that's looking for information and maybe wants to know just what's going on with these viruses, please feel free to share this video and share this channel with anyone you know. I would love to see them come view my channel, and maybe I can help keep them safe and informed and prevent a few COVID cases. Wouldn't that be nice? Alrighty, thanks for watching this video, and remember to subscribe down below. I'll see you again next time on my next virus update.